Now let's get back to this horror unfolding in Ukraine. And a fire has broken out in a trading building outside the largest nuclear power plant in Europe during intense fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces. The plant is the largest in Europe and accounts for 1/4 of Ukraine's power generation. The situation has stabilised, but there are fears Russia deliberately targeted the nuclear plant to raise the stakes yet again in Ukraine. The news comes as Russian forces continue their advance on the capital, Kyiv. Here's the latest from Sky News UK.
This video from Chernihiv shows a missile strike on a residential apartment block. The blast wave shakes the entire city. Whilst the building burns, emergency workers rescue dazed civilians. And the situation in other parts of the country is just as desperate. This is Borodyanka, but as these pictures show, it could just as easily be a suburb in Syria. The damage goes on as far as the eye can see. And in some places, Russian troops and tanks are now in control. The man recording these images of the invading force is clearly trapped and very frightened.
I think I should stop recording before someone shoots me on my hand.
The southern port city of Kherson is the first to fall to Vladimir Putin's forces, leaving people fearful about what the violent takeover will mean.
Let's go live to Kyiv now and speak with Halyna Yanchenko, who's the deputy head of Ukraine's parliamentary majority. Thanks so much for joining us, Halyna. It's just incredible to talk to someone who's in the situation you are, with your capital under siege from advancing Russian forces. Can you start off by telling us what the night has been? It's now, about 8:30 in the morning in Kyiv. What's happened overnight? What have you heard? What's the latest information?
Well, I will start from the facts that we are going through nightmares day and night, and it's been for 8 days in a row. Though it's really easy to lose a sense of time because the shellings are taking place constantly. Russian occupation troops, or as we start calling them here, fascists, because they keep killing civilians, hitting civilian cities in a day and night. But probably this night was the most horrible out of all, because at night, at about 1 or 2 a.m., basically in the middle of night, Russian occupation troops hit a part of Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. And actually, this is probably the very first situation in the world history when troops, Russian troops in this case, are hitting nuclear plants and sending missiles, sending very dangerous weapon, or using very dangerous weapon of big caliber next to such a serious object. But actually, I have 2 more things to add. One, Ukrainian army is giving really fierce resistance, and a lot of civilians joined army, joined territory defense to fight the enemy back, because we are protecting our country, we are protecting our cities and our families. We have nowhere to go. It's Russia who actually invaded and attacked the peaceful, democratic and European country as Ukraine. But in the same time, we see that day after day, Putin and Russian occupation troops are start using more and more dangerous weapons, like tornadoes, like grats and other weapon of massive destruction. So in this regard, we appeal to people of the whole world to give us a hand of help and help us to save Ukraine and save Europe, save democracy in the world. We really need some some weapon given the number of people who joined army. So I know that there are a lot of Ukrainians, so people with Ukrainian origins, those who have friends in Ukraine, in Australia. So I'm appealing to you, and also I'm appealing to all the citizens of your country to send help to Ukraine. We desperately need more bulletproof helmets and body armor and stuff like that. And I also appeal to the government of Australia to assist Ukraine with actually anti-missile defense, so we can protect ourselves. As of the day,
we hear your requests, we echo them. We see what the Ukrainian army and the Ukrainian people are doing. You have inspired people around the world who value freedom and sovereignty, and we certainly echo that support. Australia has sent weapons. I know you want more support from other countries. Can you tell me how you're getting your information? You're in the capital. Your President, Volodymyr Zelensky, again, has inspired your own people and people around the world. But how are you getting information about what's happening in your country, and how worried are you about your own future?
It makes no sense to worry about your own future when you hear explosions from the window of your house on an hourly basis. But it's difficult to get used to it. Either way, regarding the information, media in Ukraine keep working. We have Telegram channels to inform citizens, to inform what is going on in different regions, in different cities, both alarming people, but also informing of the activities of Ukrainian army, so people can, feel more confident about the situation. So they know what is going on, and they know that we are fighting back, and Russians did not occupy none of the regions of Ukraine. We keep fighting back.
Halyna, we know that the Russians have tried to target President Zelensky. They want to try to capture or kill him. Are you afraid that they'll try and seek out any members of the government?
I'm pretty sure that we all are in the, in some kind of lists in Kremlin. But again, as our President Volodymyr Zelensky said when our Western partners suggested him to be evacuated somewhere else from Ukraine, he said, there is war in my country and I need a weapon, not a right. And that's the kind of attitude that we all know have. We have to fight for our country because no one else seems to come and fight for us. However, a couple of days ago, Volodymyr Zelensky has announced that we are forming International Legion. So people with military background, with some experience or trained people can come to Ukraine to help us to actually fight against Russian fascism.
Is it enough for the rest of the world to send weapons? Do you want more from the NATO countries, given what we're seeing happen in here to a free and sovereign people?
We definitely need more anti-missile defense, air and land air, because while we are fighting quite well on the ground, Russians are using very dangerous weapons and are hitting Ukrainian peaceful cities from air, using their aviation and using also a weapon of a big caliber. So we desperately need more anti-missile defense. And this is actually very much appreciated.
Halyna, what would you say to Vladimir Putin and the Russian people if you could direct a message directly to them?
I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what you tell to terrorists. The thing that they did this night, hitting nuclear power plant, this is not even war anymore. This is an absolute nuclear terrorism. And I actually don't know. I can't find words to address terrorists.
I admire
you put the whole world under danger. You are ruining houses, you're ruining families, you're ruining futures of Ukrainian children. Stop doing that if you still can.
Halyna, thanks so much for talking to us. You inspire us with your courage, and I hope the rest of the world continues to support Ukraine as much as they can.
Thank you.
That's Halyna Yanchenko, a Ukrainian MP. Pretty brave woman in her early 30s, sitting in Kyiv as the Russians head their way.